Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Shaping St. Bernard. I'm your host, Karen Boudry. Each month on this show, we take a look at the issues, events, and happenings that affect all of us from Araby to the end of the world. And today we're going to talk about quality of life, everything from affordable housing and recreation and parks to business development and tourism. And joining us to discuss this is Chief Administrative Officer Ronnie Alonzo. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Have to say, first of all, congratulations on the passage of the millage, because as most of us know, this is a huge quality of life issue, and it's really an essential for the parish. So this is a big win. Where do you start now in trying to implement?
Well, first,
this?
I think I want to thank the people who voted for this millage. I think it's a step in the right direction, and I think it's showing that St. Bernard's going to take care of its own issues, and we're not going to rely on someone else to do it, but we're going to do it ourselves. And I think that was the whole goal going forward, and we tried to convey that to people. It wasn't about the tax, whether you were for it or against it. It was something that we had to do, and we're going to take control of ourselves, and we're not going to rely on the state or anybody else to take care of our issues.
All right. Quality of life in general encompasses so many things, Ronnie, and I know that the things that most of us think about when we talk about quality of life, parks and rec, but as an administration, it's a huge bubble for you. I mean, it's not a little bubble, it's a huge one.
It's really big, and I don't think most people know on the outside. I didn't know. I've been in this position 6 years, and I've learned so much more about what government does, especially what government does in St. Bernard Parish. And I have a lot of colleagues across the state now, and what I've learned is that a parish our size, we provide more services to a community than any other parish in the state. And that's hard to believe. We do what a lot larger governments do, and we do it here in St. Bernard, providing certain services. We own the jail. We provide medical care at our jail for our sheriff's department and for the people of St. Bernard Parish. We own the courthouses, both the courthouse where up the road in Chalmette and the down the road courthouse, the Beauregard courthouse, which we maintain and have some responsibility in running those facilities. The sheriff's annex, where the sheriff's housed and his departments, his administration's housed. We own that building, we maintain that building. A lot of that's done without millages, without money. It's money with either through sales taxes or general fund that we have to spread out throughout the parish.
Yeah, so you've got to sit down and really prioritize at times when there's an issue with one of those entities versus something else that the public may be clamoring for. So that's a juggling act all the time, I would imagine.
I think every day, so we're trying to get the most out of our money, right?
Sure.
And one of the things that's important to us is what people see, because what you see is how you feel. So when we're dealing with a lot of things in the parish, it's important for people to feel good about where they live. So yes, we have the jail and we have the courthouse and we do all these other things. And we fix drainage and we fix all, and that's fine. And one of the things that President McGinnis, I talk about all the time is, okay, that's fine, we do those things, but we have to do the other things. And I think we've started doing that, and I think that shows, and that shows in the housing and in the number of people that are moving in St. Bernard. And I don't know if when the census number come out, we're going to see that over the last 10 years, St. Bernard is probably the fastest growing parish in the state.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So when you all took office, when you and Guy McInnes came, well, you were here before, but when this administration came in, what were the things that you thought with quality of life that really needed attention, really needed improvement? What were the goals that you set that said, gosh, we have to do this, and we have to do this soon?
Well, I'm gonna give some credit, right? Both Guy and I came from the school board, and I've been building schools after Katrina all the way up until that point to 2016. So we're in about our 10th year now of a recovery of building schools, and one of the things at the school board was the premier school system, but we wanted to have bigger and better than we had before. So when I came here, it was the same thing. It was like, I want to see us better. I want the parish to be as good as I felt like we were doing at the school board at the time. And that was a goal when we came in. When I talk about quality of life, I could remember coming here prior to taking the job to look around. And I remember the grass being really high out in the yard. The lights were burnt out in the parking lot. There were no blinds in the building. They were just little things. And I always thought, how could we as a parish ask people to cut their grass if we're not cutting our grass? How could we ask them to do certain things that are quality of life things if we're not going to do them as a parish government? So I felt it was important in that first 6 months that we straighten our act out and let's do the things that we can do. And then we could start, and then not only asking people, but we would lead by the example. And I think we did a lot of that. And we still have a long way to go. Don't get me wrong. We're not perfect by any means, but that's our goal.
Parks and Rec. I want to say I've seen time and time again over the past couple of years, like groundbreaking for this park, improvements to this park, this one, Bluebird, just, over and over again, Parks and Rec have obviously been a huge priority.
It has been. It's something that people want, right? So you listen to what people want. And before I get into specifics on that, if I may,
Sure.
When we talk about quality of life, we broke it down into, first of all, we developed a mission statement for our parish. And right in the heart of that mission statement is to protect and enhance the quality of life in St. Bernard Parish. So we knew it was important. We had a great quality of life, but we wanted to enhance it. And through that, the three things in quality of life that we look at is public safety, public education, and then public service, us being the public service part. And we said, you know what, we got the best sheriff department in the metropolitan area. This is how we feel, with a great sheriff. We have a school system that's a premier school system, always in the top 10, under the leadership of Doris Foche. A lot of consistency there. And we wanted to be the public service part. Like, we wanted to rise to that level and say, hey, we're going to be the part of it that provides the public service. And we need some consistency in people, consistency in leadership to do things a certain way here in St. Bernard Parish. And that's part of our goal with quality of life.
So then you had to, physically tackle these things after you get your mission statement and your mindset and the people in place. And what were the first things that you really took a look at?
First thing was obviously the budget. What can we do, right? We had to dig ourselves out of a $4 million hole, So if you're digging yourself out of a $4 million hole the day one, what becomes important, right? Is it quality of life? Is it fixing? So you have to decipher that. You have to get with your people. And Guy and I spent countless hours with our leaders, our directors, and actually we gave them the authority to say, hey, let's make some decisions. We want you guys to come up with a plan. Not only us, some of you guys were here. Get with your people, let's come up with a plan and determine how we're going to go forward. And then we looked at that and we took our ideas and we implemented it. And right off the bat, it was easy, right? I'm going to cut the grass.
Yeah.
We're going to cut the grass. We privatized some grass cutting. We felt that we didn't have enough staff, we didn't have enough equipment, we didn't have enough money to go buy those things. So we were able to privatize it. And we cut the grass and we thought, we need to do the things right now that people can see, that they're going to feel good about, whether it's a new playground, painting buildings. So we knew those were the bottom line things we had to do. So we built from the bottom up. And we started getting a lot of positive feedback right away. People felt good. Man, the neutral grounds are cut. And not only you're cutting them, you're edging them. And you're blowing the streets clean. And hey, and Guy, you're buying all these machines to pick up litter on the side of the street. Because litter abatement was a department that we started. We started that about a couple years in. And we spend a lot of money here in St. Bernard Parish on picking up litter. Too much money. So it's partly...
Yeah, unfortunately, it's unfortunate that you actually have to do that.
It is,
right?
but
it's a reality.
People would tell us, why are we going to pick it up? They throw it on the ground, let them pick it up. It's not our responsibility. But if there's 5 pieces of litter, what's the difference if there's 6?
But you also have to lead by example.
Right, and that was people's attitude. I said, no, if they throw, if somebody looks out there and there's no litter, then you know what, I might not throw this bottle out there because I don't see anything. But if I see 6 pieces, well, I'll throw 7 out there. What's the difference? So that was our philosophy coming in when we're dealing with those things. It still is.
Right, so litter abatement, something you accomplished, you got that department going. What are some other things that you were able to accomplish in these first few years, whether it's brick and mortar, new parks? What are some of the quality of life things that have actually been accomplished?
Well, I think there's some projects that we're really proud of that happened. I think on Eastern St. Bernard Parish, we were able to put a shipyard for our fishermen and for our boating community down there. This is a parish-owned shipyard. There's never been a parish-owned shipyard down there, so we're able to provide that for our fishermen. We were also able to do a public pier. So in that same location, we have a public pier down at Delacroix. I think in the future we'd like to get one on the other side over in Wyclosky, but that's two of the things that we were able to do. There were some little projects that were really small, but they were important to that end of the parish, like putting lights in Shell Beach Bayou, going out into Lake Bourne for the fishermen to be able to see coming in, and boaters, all boaters to see.
Right.
We're able to do that on the other side in Hopedale as well. So that's just a few, but one of the big projects we did as well in this working with the council was the playground projects across St. Bernard Parish. We were able to put playgrounds just about in every district, starting on the western end of St. Bernard Parish, moving to the eastern end. And that program is still going. We're still looking at additional playgrounds to be put in. And we were able to do that with not general fund dollars, but dollars, grant dollars, and money that's out there that we're able to get our hands on to build those playgrounds. Here at Torres Park, you know, we have a skate park. You know, how many communities have a skate park, right?
And the exercise, the outdoor exercise
Outside
area,
fitness area, right? That's on the western side, but we're also looking for a location on the eastern side to maybe place an outdoor fitness center. I mean, you could come any day of the week, you know, and there's people skating. I mean, and we've done bike trails. We have the Mississippi Bike Trail. We have the 40-Yarpin Bike Trail. We have a bridge that's going to go over Parish Road, a pedestrian bridge that's in the plans near future to go over Parish Road, which is going to be our entrance from New Orleans East, from coming down Parish Road. Those are some of the projects that people can feel good about, you know. When you're moving into a community, you want to know what type of things they are. Right. First and foremost, I want to feel safe when I walk out my door, and we spoke about that earlier.
Right.
You know, and we have that community here.
So as we wrap up, what are some of the things that you want to see still, that you want to accomplish before the end of this administration's term? Well,
before the end of this administration, it's 2 years, right?
A
little over 2.5 years, right? You know, going back to the tax, you know, quality of life is people feeling safe, right? We talked about that earlier. And part of safety is knowing that I'm not going to flood, that I could live in a community that's clean, and part of that is having a plan in place for the next administration. So we want to have this laid out to use these dollars wisely and have a plan. We have a plan in place. We had a plan in place 1.5 years ago when we thought we were going to get it originally. But they have a plan in place for this drainage, and to let people know that they're going to be safe and they're not going to flood in St. Bernard Parish from the inside. We know we're protected from the outside. We don't want to flood from the inside.
Good point. So a final thought about the 3 Ps. I know we want to elaborate just a little bit.
Right, and wrapping it up, right, those things are important to us, right? You know, public safety being one. Sheriff's Department, you know, like to let everybody out there, and they know it. We have a great Sheriff's Department. We have a great Fire Department, right? They're going to keep people safe. They're going to respond quickly. Public education, right? Premier K-12 system. And failed to mention earlier, we have Nunez Community College, one of only 12 community colleges in the state. They're driving force when it comes to workforce in our parish, which obviously brings dollars, and it keeps people here. You know, they're trained here, and they stay here in St. Bernard. That means they build here and live here, and they pay taxes, which help us. And then there's public service, right? It's all the things we do, all the things we talked about, to try to make people feel good about living in St. Bernard Parish. We have great people, right? We always say our most important capital in St. Bernard Parish is our human capital. It's the investment we make in people. Our employees are great. We have a great council to work with, and we're all working in the same direction. And that's our goal. And you say what my goal is in the next few years is to keep that up.
Keep that direction going. All right. Thank you so much for being here and shedding light on so much that many of us probably just weren't even aware of.
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry for rambling, but I could go on and on and on. I can go on and on about the things we're doing and what we've done.
No, you're passionate about it, and that's good.
I am.
Yeah,
I love this place.
All right, there is another guy that's very, very passionate about quality of life in St. Bernard Parish, and in particular, the bike trails and basically anything outdoors, and that's District C Councilman Howard Luna. I had a chance to take a ride with him recently. I am at Val Reese Park with Howard Luna, Councilman District C. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, this is a beautiful complex, but one of the things that you're passionate about are the bike trails. And I know they weave around the park, right? What's the plan? This is just one stop, I guess, on a major journey for the parish to lengthen and create bike trails in the parish.
It is. This is one piece of a whole network of things we're going to do. And so while people may not look at this and say, I can't see the connectivity here, there is some thought behind what we're doing. And so the trail here that kind of makes its meanders its way around Val Reese is just over a mile distance around. But it's connected, so it's connected to the bike lane on Palmanzano. It will be connected to a bridge that will cross over the 40 Arpent onto the 40 Arpent Trail. So this facility is central to, in terms of central Chalmette. It's kind of in the middle between where we start and where we may end the trail. But it's connected, and all of the pieces on the bike plan will eventually be connected. It just, sometimes you see pieces here and there and they kind of wonder where we are and where we stop. But the plan is to connect it all together.
So when you say connected, is that going to be just a total pavement? Because right now it's gravel, right? So if you wanted to take your bike up on the 40 Arpent and go from Araby down to Violet, you could do that right now, right?
For the most part. There is a gravel section road there that you can access through Heights Park. There's a bridge that comes over at Heights Park, or the one at the Wetlands Observatory. So there's some places to access it. It's not designed for any kind of bike. So right now with the gravel there, I would caution people to say, you know, you probably need the right kind of bike to ride on gravel, but the thought is that it is rideable today. Can't go all the way to Violet, but you can get a pretty good ways down, and if people want to enjoy that, it's pretty rustic. It's pretty wild back there, but that's okay. I mean, that's part of what the attractiveness is to the area. So you can, in fact, do it. I do it quite often.
So what is going to happen? What are the enhancements? Is it just going to be, you know, just totally cemented all the way down to it, you know, a certain width? And what are you physically going to do to make this, you know, accessible essentially for all types of bikes, not just the, you know, off-road terrain kind of?
Sure, and in fact, it's a multi-use trail, so it's not just bicycles.
That's right. You can
joggers.
Skate
Yeah, absolutely. Anything non-motorized you can actually utilize.
Okay.
So the plan is to asphalt the trail or a path, and not only on the 40 Arpent portion, but also on the Mississippi River Trail. We're going to start it at the downriver side of Valero and then run it to the Violet Canal. We'll have a trailhead at the Violet Canal where people can drive their cars and park and hop back on. So there's going to be an 8-foot wide roadway along that levee, along the top of the levee, that bikers, runners, joggers, skaters, anything non-mechanized can do. And then we're going to have a similar path, maybe a little bit wider here, 10-foot wide, that's going to run from Heights Park, where it could begin, to somewhere down towards Violet, where the path will, at that point, end.
So this is something you're passionate about, but you totally believe that this is a quality of life issue that's important in retaining people in the parish, as well as bringing people in. Tell us a little bit about how you see that fit in the overall scheme of the growth of the parish.
I sincerely believe that residents are where it is for us. The more people we have, the better we are as a community here. And so what we try to do is we look for things like amenities, like bike paths, or whatever we try to do. Anything that would improve the quality of life down here sometimes becomes the difference between winning a resident, right, who's looking to move somewhere else, and retaining one. And again, we got to retain what we have, because we're not going anywhere if all we gain is what we lose. So these kinds of things, I think, for younger families and people who have younger children who want to get outside to do the kinds of things that they did when their parents were young, I think is something that makes us attractive to people.
Just to quickly wrap up, what do you see as the future for these kind of, we have these things in the works now, but what is your dream for the future?
Yeah, I don't know what the next step is, but I'm sure there is one out there for us. And we'll continue to look for things. It's going to take us a number of years to kind of put all the pieces to the bike plan together. We've got a lot of other things going on. There is another step out there. I'm not quite sure what it is. And that's the great thing about when you travel around the country, you have to look at what the next step is. Because there are some communities that have already been through where we are and have moved on. So those kinds of things is understanding and learning and bringing that back. So that when people say why, then maybe you can just say why not, and we can make it all work.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, so travel, but come back.
Come back.
Bring those ideas back.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. Let's go take a ride.
Let's go.
Right, another person who is very passionate about providing outdoor space for people in the parish is Councilmember Wanda Alcon, and she joins us now. We are here at Paul Drive Park, but it's actually Cypress Park now. And this was basically your baby. Tell us a little bit about how this came about. I mean, this was here before, but it's different.
Well, it was here before Katrina, but all it was a slab with 1 basketball goal and 3 swings.
Oh, wow.
So when we started talking about how we wanted to create more neighborhood awareness and for things for people to do, we started taking areas that already either had parks or space that we could hold as public use lots and that sort of thing. So so I started really 4 years ago trying to work this park in. So with the work of community development with Jason and Dale, we came up with a plan, a drawing, and it took us a while. I mean, it took us a good while to get everything down, and then we had to fight for the funding.
Yeah, people don't realize how much it costs for just one park like this.
It does.
Like 300.
This park was over 300,000, but I was able to get a grant from the Cypress, the Murphy Oil Cypress Foundation for the park, which I was very grateful for, and they have done a lot of good things in St. Bernard for us to make things better for the people. But so yeah, we started in September, we broke ground of 2019, so then we opened up around September, October of 2020. I do see people here all the time enjoying themselves, so I'm glad to see that.
Again, this is beautiful, but this is just the start for you in what you want to do in your district and really throughout the parish. Tell us what the plans are.
Well, each of us, we met with Jason with community development, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, each district will be getting 2 parks, and it's going to be coming from community block grant money, because obviously our budget doesn't allow for $350,000 for each park. But we will be starting with that. I think, as a matter of fact, Jason told me he's meeting with the engineers now to start the planning. They have to do the environmental studies and different arrangement things that they have to do. So we're hoping maybe by next year to be moving with these new parks.
With the plans and moving forward and
starting to build them. And
will they be similar to this? We didn't mention that we've got the whole covered playground area. We've got the nice basketball court here. We have the picnic area. We have benches. We have trees. So they will be similar to this.
The parks in my district are going to strictly be playground areas.
Playgrounds, okay.
Yeah, I don't think there are any plans for another basketball court. And
Just a space issue.
Right, definitely, because we're working with lots. Here I had 5 lots to deal with, and we're working with maybe 1 lot or 2 lots in each subdivision. We'd love to put them throughout every subdivision, but that's not possible. So we're trying to space them. We're trying to space them so that it gives the subdivisions, like this little park covers maybe 2 or 3 of the subdivisions, that they have access to it close to them, that they can get to and enjoy the park. We put the walkway here all around the park, as you'll see.
Yeah.
We figured that maybe kids would be playing, moms want to walk, you know, different bike riders, whatever. But also because we're here next door to St. Bernard Manor, and there will be a gate here, and we wanted them to have access that they can come here with their grandchildren or their children. They can just come here and sit out here and watch the basketball games or do whatever, to give them a little more activity as well.
So why do you think that this is so important for these neighborhoods in the parish to have parks like this?
Well, it's another amenity that we can offer to our families that live in the parish. It gives the children a place to go. It gives them something to do. They're not stuck inside with the TV all the time. They can come out and get some fresh air. It helps the parents get out. It draws them together where families meet families, and people get to commingle, and like here playing basketball, we have kids from all over the entire parish that show up here. Everybody gets along, you know, and they play. Sometimes I've seen them here 3, 4, 5 hours a day playing basketball. So it is, I think it is popular.
It's community building.
It is,
yeah,
it is.
It's awesome. And it helps retain the homeowners that we have and attract new ones, which we're trying to do every day here, right?
Exactly, and it seems to be working. So let's hope we can continue that. But in my district, I have 2 more parks planned. One definitely on Judy Drive, and one definitely in Angelique Estates. So those will be playground areas like you see here with the covered top and all of that. So I can't wait for those to get done as well.
I'm sure the community can't wait as well. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much for all your hard work, and thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Councilmember
much.
Wanda Alcon.
Thank you.
Before we close today, we want to take a look at another quality of life program in the parish, and that is the Animal Control Animal Shelter. Because every aspect of their job focuses on the quality of life between animals and humans, and that bond is so very important. Take a look.
We are the only shelter in St. Bernard Parish. We're a municipal shelter run by the government, obviously. So we provide all sorts of services to our community. So if you find a stray animal, you bring it into us. You can't house your animal anymore, you can bring it into us. We offer low-cost spay-neuter programs for individuals of St. Bernard Parish who receive government assistance. We offer a low-cost TNR program so that you can bring in your feral cats that are your colony that you're feeding to get them fixed, and then you take them back, but they're not going to make or have any more babies, so it keeps your populations maintained and healthy, and you know, cats grow exponentially. So if we get them all fixed, you can just keep your same colony. So every day starts with cleaning and feeding the animals in our care. We have anywhere from 20 to 50 depending upon the day, so obviously those are our first priority. Everyone gets fed in the morning, their kennels get cleaned and sanitized, fresh food and water. Then from there, whatever calls come in from the public, whether it be a stray roaming call of a dog or a bite case or a condition check of a dog that doesn't have proper food, water, or shelter. You know, our days vary depending upon the stuff that comes in. So we can get anything. Typically we just get cats and dogs, but we get birds and rabbits and raccoons and squirrels and possums and guinea pigs and regular pigs. We have a little mini potbelly pig in our care right now. So really anything. You know, a few of them become like shelter favorites and they come up in the lobby and hang out with us during the day. You know, the really good ones that we know aren't gonna destroy the paper and, you know, run amok in the office. But all of the dogs get at least 10 or 15 minutes out every single day. We rotate them. The ones that we know that get along, we do little play groups so they can get their energy out and run and socialize with each other. So absolutely, we throw balls, we have little obstacle courses, have a little bubble gun that they run and chase and pop the bubbles. So absolutely, we try to make their lives as comfortable here as long as they're here. Every aspect that we do in our job focuses on quality of life for both the pet and the human, because that bond is so important. So if an animal control officer comes out to your house, their first priority isn't necessarily, depending upon the call, to take that animal out of your care. We help pet owners all of the time. We distribute food, we've given out flea meds. Our officers carry hammers and nails and zip ties on their trucks. If you need to secure your fence to keep your dog in, we're gonna help you do that, because ultimately our goal is to keep loved pets into loved homes. So we focus on that. We do adoptions, so the animals that are in our care that go up for adoption, you know, it makes the quality of life better for the person adopting the pet. Pets make people happy, and obviously the shelter animal would much prefer to lay on your couch than in our kennels, so it's quality of life for that pet too.
All right, that's it for this edition of Shaping St. Bernard. I'm Karen Boudry. Thanks so much for being with us. Again, don't forget to consider adopting an animal from the Parish Animal Shelter. They need good homes. They need you. They're open daily, but it's best to make an appointment, so give them a call. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time on Shaping St. Bernard.